Well, I'm so glad you could join me today, because today I had a special request to make cream puffs, thanks to Naomi and Dale who follow me on YouTube. Taste to table, and we are going to show you a really quick way to make them. So, there's only a couple of things that you need to have in the house. You need to have flour, water, and eggs, a little bit of salt. And you know, it's always a good idea to keep a box of instant pudding, whatever kind you like. You could do vanilla, you could do chocolate, it doesn't matter, and heavy cream. And that's really all there is to this recipe. Normally I would make it with a chantilly cream, but this is all about, Taste to Table is all about doing things quick and really delicious and really impressive too. Now, once the cream puffs are done, you can either sprinkle them with a little bit of powdered sugar, or like I'm going to do, is I'm going to put a little bit of a chocolate glaze on top. And I'm going to make that. You don't have to. You can get a jar of chocolate sauce already made. But since I have it in the house, I'm going to go ahead and make it. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to start the cream puffs. The actual dough for the cream puffs. And you're not going to believe how easy this is. We are going to boil a half a cup of water, a half a stick of butter, and about an eighth of a teaspoon of salt. Gotta have the salt or it's not gonna rise. So I've got that going on here, and that looks like that is almost ready to go. So you'll need a cup of flour, regular flour, all-purpose flour. Don't sift it, nothing. It's that easy. And once this comes to a rolling boil, I don't think you can see that on this angle, but it is coming to a rolling boil, trust me on this. And my official taste tester, Max, is around. He's not barking today, which is a bonus for everybody, including me. But you'll see him in a little bit because he's absolutely adorable and he loves cream puffs. So now that this is coming to a rolling boil, I'm going to take the 1 cup, actually this is a half a cup of flour. Sorry about that, I'll usually double this recipe. Half a cup of flour to a half a stick of butter and a half a cup of water. So I'm going to take that half a cup of flour, I'm going to dump it in there, and I'm just going to mix it up really, pretty fast. What you want it to do is you want it to form a ball. You want it to leave the sides of the pan, and after a few seconds you can shut that gas off. And you want it to form a ball. And now you can see exactly what it's doing here. And you don't have to really get crazy with incorporating all that flour because it will incorporate. Okay, once that comes into a nice ball like that, you can see that? Yeah. We are going to take 2 eggs. Now this is kind of the hard part because you really have to have a lot of muscle for it, and well, let's face it, I'm old and I don't have a lot of muscle. So we're going to cool this off a little bit longer than what I'm doing, simply because I don't want to make this video really long and get you all really bored. So I'm going to go ahead and put this egg in, but I'm going to mix it fast so that it doesn't cook, because the pan is still hot. So I'm just gonna make a little bit of the center there. Cool it about 2 minutes or so, 2-3 minutes, and then add your eggs, 1 at a time only, okay? And you're gonna mix that up really fast. Oof. It's gonna get tough to do. But the first one's never a problem. It's always the last one. And if you're doubling this recipe, you'd be using 4 eggs, and that's just, it's really tough. But this will make, depending on what size you make your cream puffs, this will make 6 to 8 cream puffs, which I find is plenty for us. And there's only 2 of us, and of course Max, the dog. Yeah, because he has to get one too. And now that that's all stirred up well, you can see that there's no residual egg left there. We're going to crack another egg and put that in there. And we're gonna stir, stir, stir again. And this is where it gets a little bit difficult because it doesn't like to, you know, really incorporate at this point. So you have to just keep stirring it like a crazy person. And then, you know, you can ice your shoulder afterwards because it's really tough. All right, that looks pretty good. Not perfect yet, but pretty good because I'm really mixing fast. Okay, that looks good. This is what you want it to look like. This is like the perfect consistency here. You can see. So now what we're going to do is we've preheated our oven to 400. Okay, that oven is already preheated. And we're gonna grab a spoon. I like to use a tablespoon. I have one out already. And I take about half of that tablespoon and I just make sure it's all up in there. And let's move this over here so you can see this here. Yeah, much better. And just drop it on there. Now, if you want to get fancy, get fancy. You can pipe it on there if you want. But you know what? If you're pressed for time, you really don't have to because it doesn't change the taste at all. And you're just going to put them right on there like that. And that's a little bit much on that. Okay. And you're just going to, I'm only going to make 6. But I will have enough for, 7, 8 on here. And if you double the recipe, you got a party. And like I said, really super easy. I mean, it's only 30 minutes in the oven at 400. So it's quick. And while this is in the oven, you can make the filling. And no, you don't have to make a chantilly cream or anything crazy like that. I'll show you how we do that right now because it's super simple. Let's get this in the oven. Okay. And this is what they look like. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. You can see, you need that little bit of towel there. You can see how nice and golden they are. I put them in a 400 oven for 30 minutes and they're perfect. What you want to do now is slice the tops off of them. As soon as they come out of the oven, they're going to be hot. But if you don't, and you wait to slice the tops off, they're going to lie flat. And I've done that before. I've just had other things to do and really messed it up and they went in the trash. But they will taste the same. And you're just going to take and slice right through here until the top comes off and just put that on the side. Let's do another one here, like that, like so. Cut that right off. And then once you do that, I mean, they will hollow out. You will get a hollow center in them, which is great because that's where your filling is going to go. And if you don't, like this one, you know, had a little bit of filament left in it. So I'm taking this out just because I want to have enough room for that filling to go in there. Just like that. Okay. Stay open. Okay, it's not gonna stay open. Okay, I see there's a little bit more filament in here, so we're gonna take that out as well. And Max is gonna be a very happy camper because he gets that. And we'll see if we can cook some over here. I don't know. There we go, that's better. Okay. So now that you have your tops off and you're all ready to go, you're going to put a cup of heavy cream into a mixer. You could use a stand mixer, a hand mixer. You could even whisk this. I mean, whisking it would be fine. And we're going to turn this on pretty high. And we're going to let that go for a couple of minutes or so. Maybe not all the way, because we want to add our pudding mix. And that's what's going to stabilize the cream. It's going to give it a flavor. It's going to give it the sweetness that we're looking for inside the cream puff. But really, you know, like I said, I usually do a chantilly cream, or you can even do a mousse in here if you want to. And I'll have that up on future videos, how to make all different kinds of mousses. Really simple, quick, done. So, Now I'm going to add about half a package of instant vanilla pudding. Like I said, you can use any kind you want, it just has to be instant. So we're going to add this now. Okay, good. And we're going to turn that up a little bit higher because we want it to be pretty stiff. So while that's doing its thing, because it's fine on its own, you don't need to do anything else. I have 1/3 of a cup of chocolate chips in here. I like to use 60%, they're not as sweet. You can use milk chocolate if you prefer. You can use regular dark chocolate, semi-sweet, but this is 60% off. And I have about 2 tablespoons of heavy cream in here. We're going to pop this into a microwave at about 15-second intervals until it gets nice and creamy and melted. So let's do that. Okay, that looks really good. That's coming along. We're going to add a little bit of vanilla. I like to use vanilla paste. You can use vanilla paste, you can use vanilla bean, you could use vanilla extract. The only problem is make sure you get pure vanilla extract if you're going to use an extract. Because the imitation ones, they're just not good. So don't use them. So I'm going to take a little bit of vanilla bean paste. Let me grab a spoon here. A little bit of vanilla bean paste. Mix that up a little bit. And that was about 1/2 teaspoon. You don't need much. And this is done. I mean, that is how quick it is. So you can see that it's really pretty thick. Okay. Really pretty thick. Okay, I'm going to take a spatula that I have in here. And we're just going to go around. And we're just going to incorporate the rest of that vanilla that got stuck up on the side of the bowl. And we're just going to do this. Just like that. Okay. And that looks fantastic. It looks perfect. It's nice and thick, you can see. Because you don't want it to be loose. I mean, if it's loose, it's a disaster when you go to bite into it. It really is. Trust me on that. Okay, I'm going to actually take a piping bag. But I'm not going to put any fancy tip on it or anything like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the tip off of it. Oh, about here looks good. It's not precise. And then I'm going to fold down the top of the bag, just like that. See that? And I'm going to fill the bag up a little bit. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to, oh, that's great. Guess I need more of those. I don't have a lot of fancy equipment. I don't find it necessary. So, just put that, just press that in there like that. I'm gonna bring this down to show you how we're going to do this. Okay, get it down to the end there, just like that. I'm gonna move this so you can actually see what I'm doing here. And we are going to take a cream puff and we're just going to squeeze it out in there. Just like that, easy. And then we're going to take the top, put the top back on it, like it never happened, okay? And let's make one for Max. We're not gonna give him that much cream though. So we're just gonna give him a little bit of cream, a little bit in there, and I'm gonna call him over for a treat and see if he comes. Okay, now that you have your cream puff, and you do that to the rest of them, obviously, I'm not going to. Now that you have your cream puff, let's get a plate. Put this on a plate. That. And let's see if our chocolate is melted up here. And it's not yet. I didn't think it would be. That was 15 seconds. I'm going to do another 15 seconds on that. Just because it's not as melted up as I would like it to be. So I'm going to grab another spoon because I don't have one. I did not prepare myself here properly, as usual. Okay, let's see what that has to say for itself now. Oh, and I think this is done. It's pretty much going to look like this. I mean, it looks pretty awful, but if you stir it and you keep stirring it, it's actually going to come together. You don't have to use a whisk. You don't have to use anything fancy. Just keep stirring it. It's going to look disgusting, as you can see. But then it's going to get a nice gloss on it. If you want it even shinier, you could put a tiny bit of butter in it when you're stirring it at this point. And that'll give it a really nice shine, a really nice sheen. I do that when I'm serving for company. I do not do that if I'm just making for family and close friends. It's just too much work, but you can see how fast this has gone. You know, the cream puffs were in the oven for 30 minutes and they came out, they look beautiful. And we are going to just take a little bit of this chocolate, and you don't need much. And you're gonna put it right on the top there. Let it drip down the sides, let it get all nice and comfortable on there. And there, you know, you could put more on if you like. If you want more chocolate on there, you can put more on. But this is pretty perfect. Max, you want a treat? We'll see what the official taster has to say, if he comes. Except he doesn't like to listen. Max, treat? Oh, do I hear him? Do I hear Max for a treat? Let's see if he comes. Mama's got a cream puff. Here he is. Come on over here, Max. Over here, treat. Mama has a treat over here. Let me pick him up because he's a small guy. Oh, here he is. Here's Max. Say hi. Oh, he's eyeing those cream puffs up already. Oh my goodness. You want to taste? Let's get some of that cream on there for you, okay? Here you go. What do you think? I think he approves. Definitely approves. This is Taste to Table. I'm Donna. Thanks for watching. I hope you make these. They are fantastic. Leave a comment for me. Tell me what you want to see me make next, and I'll be more than happy to do that for you. Until next time, bye-bye.